Imagine finding out your childhood ghost story was actually a real murderer. It started when we were kids. My brother was 10 years old back then. I was just 7 years little. Our house sat in a very quiet area. We lived in rural West Virginia. At that time our father worked far away. He did construction work out of town. Most nights it was just us three. Mom and the two boys stayed home. The layout of our upstairs was simple. There were several rooms along one hall. To the right was our parents' room. Turning left led toward my brother's room. My bedroom was at the other end. Between my room and his was a bathroom. At each far end were glass doors. These doors led to porches outside. We kept those doors locked every night. They stayed shut almost all of the time. My brother and mom had habits. They both woke up during the night. They would go use the bathroom often. I knew this because I heard them. I was a very light sleeper at night. They could not help but flush the toilet. They usually left the door wide open. One specific night changed everything for us. My brother stood in the hallway that night. He stopped walking toward his own bedroom. He turned around and walked back to me. He looked pale and felt very scared. He told my mother something very strange. He said he was afraid of the hall. He claimed he saw a man there. This man was standing at the far end. The boy said the man wore stripes. He couldn't see clearly but knew it was there. My brother told her his fear. He had seen this man for days. He felt watched every single night. I do not know what she heard. Maybe she thought he was just joking. She might have thought he was scared. Or perhaps she was too tired to care. She did not react at all then. But I sat there and shook with fear. The idea of a ghost terrified me. The thought of him in the hall was scary. It haunted my dreams for many years. I started running to my room fast. I would sprint up those stairs every night. I wanted to stay away from that end. I wanted to keep the intruder away. For years I lived with this fear. I grew up and moved out eventually. Time passed and I became an adult. I was 18 years old at that point. One afternoon I sat in my mom's car. We were talking about our old dog. His name was Max and he was wild. He loved to chew on my shoes. He was a very unruly little pup. My mother began laughing while she drove. She told a story about the dog. She said it happened years ago. She laughed about how Max acted silly. She spoke about him in the kitchen area. Then she mentioned something that stopped me. She said she once opened the front door. She said she did it for the cops. She said Max ran inside to find them. He started tearing open a bag of food. This comment shocked me completely. We never called the police before then. Our family was quiet and very private. We lived in a remote area too. I asked her why she mentioned it. My mother looked confused by my reaction. It was as if she told it accidentally. She realized that she had missed a detail. She took a deep breath to explain it. She said she hadn't told me yet. She said I was too young then. Then she told the truth of that night. She heard noises outside her bedroom window. She woke up and looked out at night. She saw a man staring into her room. He was standing right there in the yard. He was watching our home like a predator. When she turned on the light he fled. He took off running into the dark woods. She grabbed my dad's pistol for safety. Then she called the police to report it. They arrived very quickly that night. She told me what they found out then. The man was tall and white. He wore a shirt with stripes. He had short hair and blue jeans. The description matched a wanted man perfectly. It turned out he had escaped from jail. He was wanted for a murder charge nearby. He had been roaming the area lately. He had been looking for a target then. I sat in that car in silence. The pieces of my childhood began to fit. I thought back to my brother's words. He wasn't seeing a ghost at all. He saw a man stalking our home daily. That intruder spent many nights in the hallway. My brother was watching a murderer hunt us. The ghost was a man with a weapon. He was casing our house for a crime. My brother warned us before he knew it. He told her what he saw clearly. He just didn't have the words then. We were safe only by pure luck. A man in stripes stood in shadows. He watched us sleep from the dark hall. The truth sat hidden for many years now. I realized my brother was a hero. He noticed something that others missed daily. He spoke up when he was terrified. If he hadn't, things might be different. We lived in fear of a haunting story. In reality, we were nearly victims of crime. That hallway wasn't haunted by any spirit. It was occupied by a dangerous man nearby. The coincidence was far too perfect to ignore. My brother saw the truth at 10 years old. He spoke out when he felt watched. He gave us a warning we didn't hear. We lived in a house under siege. A murderer walked our halls every night. He stood near my room and his. He watched from the shadows of the hall. I finally understood what he saw then. It wasn't a ghost or a trick. It was a man who meant us harm. The stripes were on his shirt that day. The hallway was his hunting ground then. My brother told the truth to Mom. She didn't know it was a man. She thought it was just a spooky tale. I stayed scared of the dark for years. Now I see he was just brave. He faced the fear and spoke up loud. We were saved by a child's words. The ghost was a man with a plan. He walked near my bed every night. He waited for an opening to strike us. My brother saw him through the heavy glass. He warned us of the danger nearby. Then time passed and we grew older. I didn't know the truth until now. It took years to connect those dots. The stories finally crashed into one reality. One was a boy afraid of his ghosts. One was a woman chased by a killer. They were actually describing the same man. He sat in our house for many days. He watched us from the shadows of hall. My brother saw him and he spoke out. He was trying to protect all of us. I can still see his face that night. He was small but he was very brave. He didn't know he was facing a killer. He only knew something was not right there. The scariest part is how close it was. A man chose our home as his target. He paced the halls for many nights. He stood at the end of the hall. He watched my brother and me sleep deeply. My brother saw him every single night. He told his mother what he witnessed then. She heard him but didn't understand quite. She thought it was just a story. I thought it was a ghost in house. But both of us were looking at truth. The truth was a man with dark intent. He was a murderer on the run today. He sat near my bed every single night. He was stalked by our fear and suspicion. My brother's words were a lucky warning. They saved our lives from that one man. It is chilling to think about him there. He walked past our doors in the dark. He sat in shadows and watched us sleep. My brother saw him and spoke his truth. That scared boy was actually saving us all. The ghost story was actually reality's face. Now I know what he truly saw then. He didn't see a spirit of the dead. He saw a man who wanted us dead. It is wild how the past can change. A childhood memory became a crime scene. A haunted hallway became a hunting ground. My brother spoke up and saved our lives. He did not know he was a hero. He just knew something was very wrong there. The man in stripes stayed in the shadows. He watched us until the police arrived soon. We are still here because he spoke out. That night changed everything for our family. It is a story of luck and bravery. My brother saw the ghost of our danger. He told his truth to save our lives. Now I finally know exactly what it was. The fear was real and the man lived. He wanted us but he was caught first. We can never forget that man's face now. If my brother stayed silent then things changed. Someone might have been hurt in house. He saw him at the end of hall. He spoke up when he felt truly scared. He gave us a warning we needed daily. It is amazing how stories can collide today. A ghost story turned into a real crime. My brother was brave enough to say so. He warned us before we knew why. He stood up against the man's shadow. He saw the truth in the dark hallway. Now I see his bravery every single day. Do you think he knew it then?